Okay, I'm going to start the video in 3, 2, 1, go! I'm back! This is my second speed paint I'm doing a voiceover for. Technically, it's my third speed paint I'm doing, but I didn't do a voiceover for the first one, and I'm not gonna go back and do a voiceover for that one. Nah, just get on and move on to the next thing. This speed paint that I'm doing was a commission from one of my family members. It's a gift for somebody, but I'm not gonna say who in case they somehow stumble upon this. I ain't gonna tell you, but if you're a good enough sleuther, you would find out who it was, or at least, among my family members. I wouldn't want any strangers going sleuthing around trying, who's she talking about? Who's her family? Well, I'm just gonna get into her personal life here, and no, don't do that. I mean, if you do, first of all, I'm gonna be shocked, and then second of all, I'm probably not gonna care. It's just a gift. If you spoil a gift for somebody, yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do about it? That's a bummer, ain't it? Being spoiled something like, you know what you're gonna get for Christmas? Well, let me tell you. No, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I mean, me, thankfully, even if I do get spoiled on, what I'm going to get for, a birthday or for Christmas, I just forget if it's a long enough period of time from seeing what I'm going to get to actually getting that gift. However, I will say that it's frustrating not to get the gift right as you see it, and you're told, no, you gotta wait until, that special day comes around. It's disappointing. It's like, I'd like that now, please. Can I just have it now and not get anything when the day comes? I hate waiting. So this piece here, I was basically just told to do a fairy, and I wasn't given much other specifications on that, so prior to this, I had done some sketches to get some ideas down, maybe get a bit of feedback on what sort of angle to go with, which of the sketches they like the most, but they were just fine with anything, really. However, I was showing these sketches, when they were leaving from after, coming for a visit. I had done, another commission for them, and they were picking up the piece. But, yeah, anyways, I just went with the sketch that I liked the most, which was a fairy among these flowers kind of standing on top of one of the flowers, and that's the idea I went with when I did this. But I'm surprised with myself that even just going off of a very rough sketch, that I was able to just really get something down, really just kind of go full forward with the idea that I had. I mean, the sketch came out pretty well, except for a few rough spots. You'll see me go over the hands a couple of times, unless I clipped that out. I clipped a couple of the needless parts, the parts that were taking up a bit of time. But aside from a few setbacks here and there, I was able to figure out what I wanted to do for the most part, figure out the layout, the colors for the most part. It just seemed to click naturally, which is kind of rare for me, but perhaps I'm just getting more practice and getting better, which would make sense. You get better with time. And I'm pretty happy with the result. I saw that I was getting close to another week and not having a video to upload, and I wanted to fix that. I wanted to have something to upload. I'm trying to upload a video on my channel once a week if possible, last week I didn't post anything because my family was doing stuff and I was getting worn out and I didn't really have the comfort of my own little workspace at home to sit back and do stuff, so I just let that week go. But I'm trying to be more productive, trying to get into a good work schedule, a good workflow. And when I saw that this piece was, or at least when something was due this week, I currently had something else in the works, but it was going to take more time. It was either going to be uploaded later in the week or not, depending on how I wanted to go about it. Either that or I could rush it and just put out something a bit more messy. But then I realized that speed paints like this, where I'm just working on one single individual piece, they don't take very long. Usually it takes me about a day's worth to get the piece done. I'll take breaks in between the hours that I am digitally working on whatever I'm doing. Then I'll come back, do it some more. Then it'll take me about like another hour or two to get the editing finished up, find a couple of copyright free songs. I basically been getting all my music off of the YouTube audio library, which is a new thing that I found out about YouTube. I apologize. I know I'm taking a lot of breaks. That's because I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna say. Last speed paint where I heard myself talk and I heard all the pauses and the ands and the ums and the uhs and it made me pity my own sense of vocabulary. It's better than what I might initially give off. Just a little bit anyways. I think the problem that I have is trying to make sense of what is on the screen or to follow along with whatever conversation topic I raise up, which makes me wonder what I was even saying at the beginning of this. If my conversation is all over the place, forgive me, that's how humanity works. We're all over the place. We're little mistakes. Yeah. But beautiful mistakes. I'm not trying to put anybody down. We're just a bunch of goobers. That's what I'm trying to get at. And just, yeah, I don't have anybody else to ping off conversation. It's not like I can just wait for you guys to respond and then I can continue with the conversation and put that in. It's a lot easier to gather up the words that you want when you have someone else to talk for you in the meantime while you're gathering the words that you're gonna say next, or just, I don't know, have that creative spark just go off because you have some other information to work with aside from your own. Which, isn't that cool about just being around other people? How inspiring they are. Yeah, people are cool. Most of them, anyways. I mean, I've come across, like, quite a good number of people. I've actually had, like, very few experiences where I've dealt with rude people. Like, even in my school, or, well, schools, I went to a couple. Just basically during my elementary, middle school, and high school years, I had, like, basically zero bullying experience. I mean, there was one instance where I was being straight up bullied. But that was just basically, like, one time, and I avoided that person, and it never happened again where someone else made me feel terrible. The only bullying experience I had was the self-inflicted pain that I put upon myself. I was terrible to myself, just going through all this mental stress and whatnot. All this pain that I was experiencing as a kid, no one else was inflicting upon me. It was just myself. Dadgummit, what's wrong with me? When people are going through a rough time like that and there's no external source to their pain, to the madness that they're going through, it's not entirely their fault. Especially when you are in an environment that's rough. I mean, me, I have no reason to complain. I have a very good, healthy environment that I have lived in and grown up in, still live in. But even still, there can be moments where, even being in a good environment, you're feeling down or depressed or just nothing really seems to be making you joyful, or you're stuck on this one train of thought and you can't break out of it, or it just fully encompasses you. You know, it's okay to feel bad every now and again. Sometimes people are so obsessed with trying to make somebody feel good or happy, especially when they're sad. Like, oh, how can I make this person cheer up? How can I put that smile back on their face? Sometimes, though, that's not what people need. People just need to work through that negative feeling, let it flow out. You know how if you keep all the feelings inside and you can't express it externally, that it just sort of builds up? A few of my family members can relate on that. You know, I feel like I was gonna go with a point, but I'm like, no, this is a serious topic. If I'm gonna talk about anything, why does it have to be serious? I don't want to talk about serious stuff. That's depressing and boring. No, but I don't know what else to talk about. Do I want to talk about the painting? Do I want to talk about what's going on the screen? Well, I don't know. Right now, I'm at a very low capacity to use my vocabulary because I'm trying to come up with stuff on the spot. Somehow, though, if I'm on a rant, I can do fine. Kinda. I don't know. I'm working on my presentation skills, vocally anyways. I think I'm getting better, though. If you're self-conscious about something you're doing, it can help in a way. Like if you have some sort of speech impediment, keeping a mind on that will kind of help you fix it up. I still suffer with like ums and uhs and ahs, but when I was younger, I would stutter. I would repeat the same thing over and over again. Like I'd say and or I kept a mind on when I was speaking and try to catch myself when I started to stutter a bit. And I was able to fix that up pretty well. I mean, I still do it, but it's not as frequent, and I'm still keeping in mind on how I speak. And whenever I talk or whenever I write a message or send a text, I want to be very careful on the words that I choose. I want my words to have meaning. I want them to be completely honest to what I am feeling or thinking. And, you know, it's not too difficult to catch yourself or change habits if you keep a mind on them. I mean, there's still bad habits that I do that I could keep a mind on, but dadgummit, some of them are just really hard to break. I would probably bring one of them up, but I don't want to gross anybody out. I'm just going to leave it at that. I feel like eventually, if I do enough of these, I'm going to just end up spilling my whole personal secrets onto the internet. And will I care? Probably not that much. Because, I mean, while there are things I do keep to myself or things I'd like to keep private or secret, if somebody catches me out on something like, oh, you do this, or you like this, or something or other, something that I don't really share that much publicly or even with my own family, I'm not going to lie about it. I'll own up to my mistakes or my interests or my beliefs. I'm not afraid to be myself, but there are just some things I'd rather keep quiet because I'd rather not be judged. But if I do end up judged, that's fine. I think it's okay to keep things to yourself or to have your own private life, but you shouldn't be afraid of, those things that make you part of who you are, like the things that you come to enjoy or the things that you've come to believe in. If you really stand by those, if you really do like something or you really do believe it, if someone calls you out on it, shouldn't really throw you off. I mean, I know some people are going to be offended if, you're insulted by, liking something or believing in something. Me, on the other hand, I'd be like, so what if I like that thing, or so what if I believe in that thing? So I do. I mean, I've mentioned in the last Speedpaint I did for Voiceover. Am I even using correct grammar? Anyways, I've mentioned before that I tend to be judged. Every single day, there's always a sibling going, ugh, Rachel, what are you doing? Or even my parents going like, that one there. She makes me worry. But that's okay. I've come to accept that, and it's maybe become pretty good at not caring about what other people think. I mean, I still want people to feel good. I don't want to make anybody upset. But I know that standing by what I'm about, that's gonna, no matter what you do or what you say or what you're believing, you're gonna offend somebody. And I see that we're coming to the end of the video. I need to go off. Bye!